Today, we're talking about why your reactions as a mom feel so much bigger than the moment and why your child isn't actually the one triggering you. This video is about understanding the real reason that you explode over small things and how to finally stop the cycle. Most moms believe that their reactions come from stress, lack of patience, or their child's behavior. They think if my child would just listen, I wouldn't yell at them. If things were less chaotic, if my husband would help me around the house, I'd finally be the calm parent I want to be. This belief is everywhere. But as always, I'm going to be extremely honest with you. Your child isn't triggering you. That's your inner child. What feels like losing it over nothing is actually an emotional flashback. And when you learn how to work with that part of you, that little girl, your reactions are going to change, and they're going to change fast. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly why your nervous system pulls you into old survival patterns, how your childhood wounds show up in your parenting today, and the practical reparenting steps that you can start using immediately to respond instead of explode. No more mom rage. By the way, I'm Jenna, a former massage therapist with 2 decades of experience helping women regulate their nervous systems, heal stored trauma, and reparent their inner child. When we say we're being triggered, what we really mean is that something happening right now is activating a huge feeling. We always talk about these big feelings for our kids, but we also have big feelings and they come from our past. Think of it like a super sensitive alarm system that is wired into your brain back when you were a kid, and that alarm was built for your survival. If as a child you regularly felt ignored, unsafe, dismissed, or like you were a burden, your nervous system is going to create a response to that threat. Maybe you learn to get really loud to be heard. I'm from Wisconsin. My whole family speaks loud. And if you wanted to be heard, you needed to speak over everybody else. Or maybe you learned to shut down, get small because you experienced a situation that you particularly didn't enjoy. In order to never have to experience something like that again, you became invisible. Now, fast forward to today, you're an adult, you're safe, you're in charge. But when your child does something that even remotely resembles that old situation or triggers that old feeling, like not responding when you call for dinner, that old alarm system can't tell the difference. It just detects the pattern. I'm being ignored. And it pulls the fire alarm with the same life or death intensity it did when you were 5. Let's go through a couple common triggers. If you find yourself losing your mind over messes, maybe like spills, toys everywhere, a chaotic room, it might not be about the actual mess. For a kid who grew up in a tense home where there were made to feel like a burden, a mess can trigger a deep-seated fear of chaos. It brings up that feeling of being overwhelmed and responsible for things you couldn't control. The anger is a shield against that old feeling of helplessness. You may have also been punished for making messes yourself. And what about the backtalk or defiance? When your kid says no or rolls their eyes, the flare of anger can be shocking. This is a huge trigger for parents who, as children, were never allowed to have their own voice or even disagree with their parent. It's my way or the highway. Your own attempts at independence might have been met with punishment or even the cold shoulder. So when your child expresses their own perfectly normal desire for autonomy, that old wound of being silenced gets triggered. Or how about the whining and clinginess? For a parent who was expected to be self-sufficient and tough from a young age, a child's neediness can feel incredibly grating. If your own needs for comfort were dismissed, your emotional needs went unmet, your child's normal need for co-regulation can feel suffocating. You might feel a powerful urge to say, "You're fine, you're okay, you can handle it," because that's exactly what you were told. The trigger isn't the actual whining, it's the echo of your own unmet need for nurturing that you had to bury long ago. Psychologists often call the part of you that holds these old wounds the inner child. This is the internal family system. It's not some literal kid inside you, but a concept representing the younger version of you with all the emotions and beliefs from your childhood that are still stored in your cells. And right now, that inner child is trying to get your attention the only way that it knows how, by sounding the alarm. The good news is that you don't have to be stuck in this reactive loop forever. Your triggers aren't your fault, but healing them is your responsibility. And that healing process is called reparenting. Reparenting is the process of consciously giving yourself what you needed as a child. It's about becoming the compassionate, validating, and safe parent that you always needed. This isn't about blaming your own parents, though, okay? This is their first time on this floating rock, the same as it is yours. It's about taking responsibility for your own healing. How do we start? I'm going to take you through a 5-step peace plan. So step number 1, we're going to notice the physical cues and pause to become the detective of your own body. Before you explode, your body sends out warning signals. So you already know the triggers. Your heart pounds, your face gets hot, your fists clench, your jaw gets tight, your stomach might churn. These are signs that your nervous system is on high alert. You're officially in fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. And your only job here is to notice. You don't judge it, don't fight it, just notice. Silently say to yourself, "I see you. There it is. My face is hot. I'm overwhelmed. I'm triggered." This simple act creates a tiny, powerful gap between the trigger and your reaction. It's going to pull you out of the emotional flashback and into the present moment as just being the observer. And this is the moment that we use to pause. So we're going to stop, take one deep breath, and breathing deeply is one of the fastest ways to tell your nervous system that you aren't actually in danger. You are giving your adult brain a chance to come back online. Step number 2 is we are going to use a simple mantra to reassure your inner child. So once you've hit pause, you need to speak directly to that activated part of you. This isn't a long therapy session. We've got milliseconds. It's about acknowledging the feeling without letting it drive the car. A mantra is a perfect tool for this. So you're going to find a phrase that works for you and repeat it in your head. One that I do when I am completely overwhelmed is just say, "I am safe," because sometimes that's all I can get to. You're not trying to pretend that you're not angry. You are validating your emotions for the first time while grounding yourself in reality. You're telling your inner child that I see you, I hear you, and I've got you. Step 3, begin an inner child dialogue. Real healing happens when we move beyond just managing triggers and start to understand where they actually are coming from. This means setting aside a little time to connect with your inner version. And 2 of the best ways to do this are journaling and letter writing. For journaling, try this. Write from your adult self. And I know this sounds a bit weird, but stick with me. Switch to your non-dominant hand. You're going to write as your inner child using your non-dominant hand. It helps bypass your logical adult brain and tap into a more emotional space. It totally works. Try it. Comment below once you do and let me know what comes up for you. So use simple prompts for this one. Maybe the adult you is like, "What are you feeling right now?" And then the inner child is going to just write all over the page. You will be shocked to see what actually shows up. Another powerful practice is writing an actual letter to your inner child. You're going to find a photo of yourself as a kid to help you connect. Look at that little version of you and write a letter specifically to that version of you, telling them everything you needed to hear back then. Tell them they are loved, valued, and not alone. Acknowledge their pain. Say, I'm so sorry you felt so alone, or it was never your fault that you felt like a burden. This gives your younger self the validation you may have missed and helps you build deep self-compassion. Step 4, you're going to engage in nurturing self-care and play. Reparenting isn't always all this heavy emotional work. It's also about bringing joy, play, and genuine care because, again, it's your inner child. Children learn best through play. They also heal through play. We're trying to consistently meet your needs. This means getting enough sleep, which is huge for emotional regulation and hormonal health. It means eating food that nourishes you and moving your body in a way that feels good. It also means reconnecting with play. What did you love to do as a child before someone told you it was a waste of time or that it was stupid? You are allowed to have fun. When you implement more play in your own life and to your inner child, it's going to be so much easier to be able to play with your children. Step 5, the repair, modeling emotional accountability. No matter how much healing you do, you will still have moments where you lose your mind. You're still going to yell. You're still going to say things that you regret. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress and repair. After you've calmed down, one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself and your child is to go back and fix the connection. This looks like a sincere apology. Get down on your child's level. That is so important. You need to make eye contact and say something like, I'm so sorry I yelled. My reaction was too big for the situation. It was about my own big feelings. Mama was stressed. I'm working on handling my anger better, and I love you even when I'm mad. And this doesn't undermine your authority. It actually does the exact opposite. It models emotional accountability. You teach your child that everyone makes mistakes, that it's okay to have big feelings, and that the right thing to do is to apologize. Every time that you pause, every time that you choose a kinder inner response over a harsh outer reaction, you are literally rewiring your brain, building resilience. You're showing that little kid inside you that they are finally safe, seen, and loved. And the most beautiful part of this work is that as you heal yourself, you create a more emotionally safe home for your children. And your triggers stop being sources of shame and become your greatest teachers. They are road signs pointing you directly to the parts of yourself that need your love the most. If this resonated, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and swing on over to this video, Why You Wake Up Already Overwhelmed, to start breaking the cycle of being overstimulated.